I've known people, who argued all that, and finally they said, you know what? I was wrong. And other people say, what? It's like they're in an argument, and nobody expected that. It changes the whole equation. When somebody realizes, wait a minute, you're not fighting, you don't have a sword, they can drop their sword too. Well, I wasn't right either. There was a family who, from the father down, everybody argued with each other. No one ever admitted that they were wrong, so they were arguing all the time. And the daughter came to the Lord. And the arguments, though, went on, and she was in there too. And one day in the middle of the argument, the Lord's Spirit convicted her, and she said, you know what? You're right, I'm wrong. And everybody, it stopped. It shattered. They didn't know what to do. Nobody knew what to do because nobody had ever said that before. He said, you're right, I'm sorry, I love you, and left, totally shattered, and healing began in that family. They just discovered, I don't know if you heard, a new strain of Alzheimer's disease was identified in Italy among Italian, and also among Italian Americans. It's that you forget everything except the grudge. Some of you are saying, well, I think I have that. I think I don't, you don't even remember why it was, but you're still mad at them. My father, it's not just Italian, it's everybody. My father, in Germany, when he was in Germany as a kid, there was a cousin named Yochanan, and he came over, he visited him, and my father had electric trains. This is like the 1930s. My father was in Germany with his younger cousin, and my father would not, he was a few years old, would not let him touch the trains. Now, then came Hitler, England. My father fled to England. The Yochanan, his cousin, fled to Israel. The Yochanan in Israel became a successful shipping magnate, but he never forgot that he couldn't play with those trains. He passed it down to his son. When his son came over from Israel, his son was my age, he relayed the story that his father told him that he was never allowed to play with those trains that he wanted. My father, this is like what? I don't know what, 50 years later? My father insisted that he was right about those trains. It didn't happen that way. Both were grandfathers, but they still held on to that little stupid thing. I said, Dad, for goodness sake, just call him up in Israel and say, I'm sorry about the electric trains. At least buy him a caboose, do something. Nobody said I was wrong. It's amazing how things can go on in your life. How many relationships were ruined because nobody could say I was wrong? How many fathers and sons, how many parents and children have been estranged because nobody could say they were wrong? How many brothers and sisters nobody could? And it may be that the other person was very wrong, but if you're a child of God and you were a little wrong, you still can go with that little wrong and say, well, listen, I'm sorry about this. And you don't have to do, a lot of people do that, you ruin it. You say, I'm sorry about this, but what you did, and that goes right out the window. How many people have gone to the grave with angers and unforgiveness and relationships broken, never mended, because they never said I was wrong. They see the power of it. That's often what the other person needs to hear. A true, sincere, I'm sorry. And not just, I'm sorry, but meaning it. Not just, there are people who say, I'm sorry. You say you're sorry to God, and the next second you're doing it again. Your wife may need to hear it. Your husband may need to hear it. Your child, your son may need to hear it. Your daughter may need to hear it. Your parents may need to hear it. It takes courage.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.